great innovator give up so easily on that promised future?
I won't. I'll find a way to save us all.
Yep.
All right, so welcome, guys. End of Dragons Daily. I did a poll. There's been the big announcement stream. Then I went away for 2 days. As soon as I got back home, I threw up a poll right before falling asleep. Said, what do you guys want to see? And I kind of let that decide what I would go with first. So you can see on screen here what most of you voted. And it wasn't a trailer analysis. It wasn't anything lore related. It wasn't story speculation. It's elite speculation. Oh, baby. So I'm bringing Boots on. Hey, Boots, how's it going?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good, how are you?
Not bad. So anyone who caught the stream, Boots and I already had like a segment where we discussed this topic, but it's like buried in a 5-hour-long VODs. And, I could cut it out and just dump it on the channel, but I figured, we've had a couple of days to sit back and reflect, and, well, let's run into it. So, for everyone out of the loop, they talked about the Mesmer elite spec. It's called the Virtuoso. They showed in-game footage of it and so on at the show. But, alongside that, on the official website was this image. And here you can see it says Elite Specializations. The Virtuoso's there, animated. And there are actually all the icons already available. Which, I don't know, Boots. I feel like they missed a trick here. I feel like they should have held these back. And they should have...
Why do you say that?
Because I like what they did with Heart of Thorns, where it was a whole week on an elite spec. So, like, the Monday, they should do, the icon and the art. And people are like, ooh, what is it? Tuesday, you get the name and a trailer. Wednesday, you get, a gameplay blog post about all the traits and stuff. Thursday's, like, a theme blog post. Friday's a stream or something.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that. I think that... Okay, so when we talked about what we wanted to see elite spec-wise in the announcement trailer, I said I kind of wanted a silhouette of all the elite specs.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you even thought that was too much, and you just wanted the
one
Virtuoso
silhouette
this time.
Yeah, well, yeah. I said I wanted the Virtuoso and one shroud.
Which is what we got.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Is what we got.
Which was very cool.
But this, having the icons for all of them, is basically, the runner-up prize for me, which is, it's not silhouettes, but it is a nice little speculation of everything coming, and I like that. And we don't even know which ones are for which class, really.
Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. We've got to guess whose profession belongs to what. And then maybe a little bit of an idea what the name is, what the theme, the mechanics might be, and so on. And we'll just try and go through all 9 of them here today, and we'll see what we've got, yeah?
Yeah.
Starting off with this one on the left, which I think we're both pretty settled on, right?
Yeah, I think, just because the Virtuoso uses daggers, and this is the only one that shows daggers, we kind of think that this is... the Virtuoso, the Mesmer.
Yeah, this looks a lot like the daggers, maybe that are above their head or whatever. It only shows 3, not 5, and they get 5 ammo, but nonetheless, I do think that.
But that's the other thing. So it shows 3 and not 5. Number 1. Number 2. All of the imagery we have so far for the Virtuoso is like not these types of daggers. These are like kunai. And this is not at all what we've been seeing for the Virtuoso. So it is a little bit weird that this might be the Virtuoso symbol, but based on what we see on all the other symbols, it looks like this one conforms to it best.
Well, so I was wondering if maybe the art for what the shatters look like and stuff is placeholder, maybe? Maybe the blades above the heads will change later and they'll look more like what you're calling kunai, like they'll fit a different vibe. Maybe?
Maybe.
But yeah, so that's what I'm kind of settling on. You guys in the comments, you might be thinking, hang on, that's clearly a warrior thing, blah, 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 blah. Let me know if you believe that. But generally speaking, I would say that it's the Virtuoso. Next icon is this fellow here, which I believe on the day, and I still kind of stand with this, Boots. I think we both kind of thought this was a ranger situation.
Because it's the only beast-like thing?
Well, yeah, I suppose. So I'm quite interested to skip ahead ever so slightly. You've got the mask on the we said was warrior coming up in a minute. And what I found really kind of curious and cool about that actually is if you think about like the default warrior icon, It's like a helmet, right? It's always like a helmet thing, isn't it? Oh, maybe Berserker wasn't.
Is it?
Well, Spellbreaker wasn't.
No,
either.
the icons for warrior have been well, at least for the elite specs, have been like a sword and a dagger.
I feel like on this lineup, the reason why I like that mask being a warrior is because it's like another mask kind of thing, and it's like, oh, you know, like base warrior has the helmet. So anyway, then I was thinking about like what is the ranger's icon, and it doesn't really work in any way. But I see something bestial there. It feels kind of like lion-y or canine, maybe. I don't know.
I was hoping that it was a bunny.
You were thinking it was a bunny under there.
I was hoping it was a bunny for Bunny Thumper.
Yeah, but this is what I said to you the other day, though. It's not actually Bunny Thumper. It's not because of actual bunnies, is it?
I don't care.
Why is it called Bunny Thumper? For people that don't know, there was a very famous like playstyle build that lasted for a long time where you played like an expertise ranger in Guild Wars 1, and you used all these.
It's because. Yeah, go ahead though.
You used a bunch of traditionally expensive like hammer knockdown abilities and stuff, but they were cheap because you were an expertise ranger, and you'd knock people on the floor, and then your pet would savage them, and that was the Bunny Thumper.
Yeah. So I think it's because the warrior skills that use the hammer had you like jumping towards your target a lot.
Oh, so you're hopping around? Okay, I can kind of see that.
I think so.
I can see that.
I think so.
I think that makes sense. So
either that or you're hitting people and you're hitting bunnies because you're a terrible person.
What do you think the mechanics might be? Do you get any sense? Like, what is it? What are we doing with our pet on this one? What are we doing?
For a Bunny Thumper?
Yeah. Can you get any? I mean, if we're saying the virtuoso is being represented on the left, you kind of get a sense of the blades and you know.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing. Okay, so if it's not a Bunny Thumper, if it's beast related, then the other option that I had flying around for a little bit was instead of a soul beast, you're a beast soul, and instead of a beast coming into you to make you more strong, you would inhabit your pet and you'd have extra skills.
Right. Okay. Yeah, like a reverse soul beast.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I've always liked that idea. And so maybe the icon does fit there then, Boots, because it's like you are an animal wearing armor. You're like geared up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of fits. That would be a very, very ambitious thing for them to be doing. I think in many ways that's even more ambitious than the Soul Beast. But they've been surprising. You know, Weaver was very ambitious. They went for it. You know, just in terms of the number of new skills and stuff that was available. I think that would be very, very cool. So that's my fan fiction hope. I don't know whether I really see it in the icon, but there you have it. Any other thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, well, if it was a Bunny Thumper instead of a beast soul, it could be. I mean, expertise was the thing back in the day for rangers in Guild Wars 1.
Yeah.
And it reduced the cost of the skills, which in Guild Wars 2 sort of means more that they're faster, I guess, and recharge faster.
I don't know. I don't really see it.
I know. Anyway, I was thinking they could bring that expertise feeling back to a ranger by giving it self-quickness and alacrity a lot more.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be given power creep and boon access and all the shiny toys they want to give people to make them feel like they're strong. I wouldn't be surprised if that did end up on there. I think some of the new balance decisions that we've seen where alacrity's just spread and spread and spread, seeing alacrity eventually come onto a ranger makes a lot of sense to me, you know.
So it would be just a ranger with a hammer with a lot of interrupt skills and alacrity.
Okay, all right, well, we'll see. Next, I think we were both believing this was most likely to be Thief. And Boots actually created this infographic. I'll put it on screen, yeah? The Boots made this, and it's got all of his favourite profession ideas. You've only listed Thief here. You don't have any other ideas. Because I've seen online, people like the idea that this might be Warrior, which already can dual-wield swords, already has great sword. But people like the idea, and it already has a dagger specialization, but people are really, really liking the Warrior thing. What's your take on that?
That's weird. I don't know if that's accurate.
yeah, I don't like it either, really. I didn't know whether you kind of had any further thoughts.
No, it doesn't make... Well, the icon wouldn't make sense for it if it's the case. It could be, but it just doesn't make sense because they already have dual weapon, they already have great sword. Unless it's dual wielding great swords, which is unlikely. Also, the three things around the two swords here looks an awful lot like Initiative.
Yeah, Initiative Diamond. So I'm completely in agreement with Boots on this one, guys. I think this has got to be Thief. It has to be Thief. And so
But what does that mean for it, though?
here's the question. I mean, a sword offhand, obviously, right? But I feel
Right.
like the main hand sword skills that already exist aren't going to play into this like ninja fantasy that I'm guessing will be living out. Like those are like clearly like cool ninja blade, you know, kind of experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, when I look at this icon, I'm thinking it's like it's like
Although-
Daredevil. And Daredevil already exists, you know, so it's like
Yeah.
there's this weird overlap. I think there was always gonna be this problem with us now coming to Cantha and having elite specializations tied thematically to this area of the world. This was gonna be a problem probably, but
I would say though that that's not entirely true because
the dual skill.
well, first of all, the main hand sword, the auto attack, yeah, it's just an auto attack, but the second skill is kind of a teleport, right?
Yeah, the leaping in and out. I mean, yeah, that's why. But it doesn't feel like acrobatic, I guess. That's the thing about it. It
Yeah,
feels
that's
kind
why
of,
I think that the offhand skills are going to be really interesting movement-wise, and I think that the dual skill on each of the dual skills for each possible main hand weapon is going to be very interesting movement-wise.
Yeah. So I think the dual skill's the kind of cool thing because you give Thief an offhand. They haven't had this experience yet. And that's something
No.
quite fascinating as well. But you give them a new offhand, and it's not just 2 skills, it's 3. And so it is going to define the majority of the playstyle, especially due to the fact that they're not a cooldown-oriented weapon skill class. It's initiative, so you could even have quite spammy stuff on the right-hand side of the bar sometimes, you know, like a crippling talon type ability. So yeah, I think I'm quite excited to see what they do. What do you think about the 3 initiative before we move on? Do you think they'll go down to
Yeah,
like...
I don't know what that means exactly. Like, is it just the same thing as the 3 kunai for Mesmer? It doesn't mean anything?
Well, there's gonna be a mechanic, right? I mean, I just don't know what they'll do with the mechanic. I have to say...
do you get 3 more initiative baseline, and then if you go into Trickery, you get 3 on top of that? Or do you have less initiative than you usually do?
I like them doing something very different to the Daredevil. Deadeye. Something about having 2 different resource management things, like with the Malice on the Deadeye. I never really liked that much. Like, you can understand it when you get to playing it a bit, but it felt just a bit... I don't know. I didn't like it. So the idea that maybe this is actually going to de-emphasize initiative somehow, or... I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say on this one, because it is...
Or
it's
maybe, because a ninja basically is all about getting the upper hand initiative-wise, like being
prepared.
being quick to strike, etc. Maybe it'll have minor traits that are based on the amount of initiative you currently have. So you aren't always encouraged to spend all the initiative you want to spend because you actually have buffs if you have higher initiative.
Well, that sounds interesting, but the devs have always moved away from that in some ways. I mean, look. Let me talk about the elephant in the room. The actual thing we should be talking about is what's happening to steel. Do we still have regular steel on this spec? Is thieving still a thing? Or is it becoming... Because they're going to do something with an F1 or an F2, surely, right? So how does that play with the initiative? Is it just the initiatives now about those? I mean, they could go anyway. That's a real wild card for me, and I'm really interested in what everyone's take is on that one. Definitely. Okay, so next we have what I said on the day of the stream. Could be a leaf or could be a flame. And I'm saying flame.
Looks more like a flame to me.
Yeah, but you can see a leaf in that.
I can, yeah. I can see a leaf in there.
Yeah, so, but I'm thinking Ellie is my most likely. Now, I see on your like graphic, you think Guardian's available there too.
Well, the thing is, okay, so I definitely, Ellie is the first pick for me, but I put it in yellow because I'm not too sure about it. And basically, Guardian, I feel like, could be any 4 or 5 of these things.
Oh, really?
Just based on the symbols. Yeah, like, Guardian could get anywhere here.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. Like, it's, you know, a holy flame kind of deal.
Okay, let me ask you this question. If this isn't Ellie, which icon is Ellie?
Could be the bullet.
You think the bullet? You think it will be a magical casting Ellie? I can
Could
see
be
that.
The bullet.
That's a good...
I didn't actually write it down as a possibility, but it could be the bullet, magical casting bullet, Ellie, like spell slinger or something.
Elemental bullets. And yeah, when I look at that icon of the bullet, it kind of looks like, you know, that stuff around the outside could be some kind of elemental ammunition, you know? Or a tuning.
Yeah, it could also be the thing that I think is Necro, which is that elixir down there. That could be the elementalist, because the overlaid on top, like there's the elixir type looking thing, but it is directly on top a aura that looks a lot like the original elementalist symbol.
Right, okay. I'm not sure I quite see
So,
that. What do you mean?
Maybe they're like magical potions that Ellie's have. But I honestly, that's like orange for a reason on my graphic. I'm not so sure about
Okay.
that.
I quite like that idea of the elemental attunement kind of bullets. And just so that everyone knows, in the blog post that originally teased the Virtuoso, they had like a lot of wordplay and little jokes in there. At one point they said they used the word attuning. They were like the Virtuoso image appeared or something. They said, now let's attune to a new topic. Or they said something like that. And I kind of, read it out, moved on. But a few days later, did you see this, Boots? Ruby tweeted.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I think I know what that is, though.
Well, okay, so Ruby tweeted a few days later, guys, saying, I can't believe everyone missed this hint. That's what she tweeted. And I was like, what? So, attunements? So it's not a mesmer?
Well,
and then I kind of
no,
moved
it
on.
is a mesmer.
But it obviously is
No.
now, obviously. But now I'm
Yeah.
thinking about that tweet again. I'm like, so what are they doing with attunements? Is someone else getting them?
So my understanding after reading that thread and everything is that she talked about attunements first when she was talking about how she, within the company, switches attunements a lot.
Right, that was
she
the line,
has
was
a lot
it?
of roles. She fills a lot of roles.
Was that the line in the blog post?
That was basically the line, yeah. And she keeps talking about attunements a little bit because she, I'm pretty sure, is fire attunement on the official forums. The person who posts a lot of, like, she's not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird though. Oh, we're so off topic now. Should I cut this whole section?
Yeah, well, I don't think you should put that in.
I don't know though. It's quite interesting. I might leave it in the video. Like, why not? But that's interesting for people that don't know. On the official forums, all the devs and like staff had to have their real life name, and then they basically got the freedom to post under an alias if they wanted. If they didn't want to wade into the filthy pit that is known as the community, they could hide with an alias. So, and many of them opted to do so. Fire Attunement did that. So why would you then go teasing to everyone? Ooh, this is who I am really. Wouldn't that just remove the whole point of the anonymity? Why would you do that?
Well, I don't know. I think everybody kind of likes fire attunement.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, that seems interesting. Okay, so it might not have anything to do with elite specializations, and that makes sense because I feel like why would she be tweeting openly something? They're probably quite guarded about the elite specialization details and so on, right? So
yeah.
All right, okay. Anyway, so yeah, what about very very quickly? What do you think about the mechanic for this new elementalist? I mean, fire.
I don't know, man. Fire? I don't know about that because you have fire attunement. Maybe because it's fire around some sort of jewel. Is it possible that it's like energy from the dragon jade?
Oh, I think you're right.
harnessed?
I think you're right. You've cracked the case. I think you're right. I think it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
like a jade. That's like you're using dragon magic. That's what that is. You're gonna get like dragon attunement, dude. We did an elite speculation on that once. Do you remember?
We did. We didn't know anything about dragon jade before, but yeah.
I think you're right, Boots. That's like
Well, all right, then.
maybe they'll have like a gem. It's like almost like a gem crafter kind of jewelry empowered. I mean, we all are to a certain degree with trinkets and the way they work. I think that's what that is. I think it's the diamond gem thing in the middle. I think it's dragon jade powering
Yeah,
up.
but then in that case, that could also technically be possibly engineer, because engineers, Dragon Jade is all about harnessing like some sort of mechanical power, some sort of energy mechanically, right? So far in Cantha, possibly rather than using it as a magic source, use it as a engineering source of some kind.
Well, it looks like a wild flame more than something being.
It
chilled
does,
in
it
a
does. So
larger
that's why I
system.
think Ellie. That's why I wrote Ellie down.
Yeah, but that's totally possible. Let's go to the next icon. So I was immediately struck by this. I'm still so convinced that this is a warrior.
Yeah, me too.
For the whole helmet thing that I said before, which maybe isn't too credible, but yeah, for this
And
video, I
also-
should have done a bit more research on this. But like, there is that kind of style of like East Asian, like warrior.
It's not just a style. It's not just a style. It's like samurai armor used to have these masks, these like gruesome masks.
Right.
and that looks a lot like what this is.
So I can imagine. I mean, how many warriors out there don't want to be a goddamn samurai?
Exactly.
I think that's totally going to be what it is. That's really exciting to me. There's absolutely nothing we can hint at with the mechanic on this one, I'm afraid, guys. I'm very interested.
I have a question about that. If you're a samurai, what will your weapon be that a warrior doesn't already have?
That's a good question as well. I think maybe a short bow or something. I can already tell that the comments on this video are very likely to get derailed because people love talking about what samurai were in reality versus the popular culture, more like modern day view of what a samurai is when they were more ceremonial and they weren't. But the idea of like actual samurai, they very rarely ever use like katanas and these big ass swords. I think a lot of them did use bows and stuff. So maybe it's going to be that. Short bow is the only space.
But okay, is this a possibility? This is a little bit out there. Maybe this is falling into the realm of they're breaking the rules, as they said in the stream. Could it be that they don't get a new weapon?
They repurpose an existing one. Yeah, I was thinking
the weapon. Yeah, the weapon that is meant for warrior is a greatsword, and when you equip a greatsword as a samurai warrior, you get a new set of skills.
Yeah, I think I like that, and I was thinking about that too. Not just with this class. Warrior is like one of the first ones that will run into this problem where if they go with elite specializations too long, they will run out of weapons unless they start actually getting properly creative. So that's a thing. The thing is, I feel like tampering with greatsword on warrior, like name a more iconic weapon class duo. Like people love that, and the idea of like if you're gonna do that. All right, if you're
but maybe you get the option.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. So that's what we're building to. If you're gonna do that, you wouldn't risk it on which is essentially taking some skills away to a certain degree. You wouldn't do it on warrior unless you're also building a lot of other infrastructure to give people an option. Now, how would that look? Something you can click? Is it a grandmaster trait swap? We know that they can do it via traits easily. Yeah, are they going to build new support and UI? I don't know. But then there's the other point where if they're going to go through all of that, then you might expect to see that on some of these other elite specializations as well. And the question kind of becomes who there as well. So yeah, I think you've got an interesting idea there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it. If it's not going to be short bow, it could be something like what you just said.
It could also not be warrior entirely, because if we are going by the fact that a warrior needs a new weapon, warrior can get pistol instead, because it doesn't have a pistol yet.
And he's on the bottom left instead. He's the pistol looking one.
He's on the bottom left instead, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because there's so few weapons available. There's only there's 3 icons suggested. He could even be in the middle, dual-wielding shields. I said that on the stream the other day. And
True, absolutely.
You got like the shield main hand idea. Because yeah, that would be a rule break as well, right? Taking the offhands and making them main. They might do that rule breaking with the thief thing as well, for what it's worth. With what we were talking about with swords. Not that they have to.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next, I'm super settled on this. Now, I'm interested on your infographic. You've got a bunch of ideas. I think this is a rev. It's got the rev icon.
Wait, for which? No, on my infographic, I just said rev.
Oh, yeah, I'm reading it wrong. Why is your infographic like this? You've got 2 on the bottom. And
I don't know. I think I stripped this from a different place than you stripped yours.
Oh, okay. All right, well, yeah, so rev, I think we're both settled on that. I mean, what more can we ask for, really? It's got the rev icon on it.
It's a rev. But what is it, though? What is it? Because look at this kind of like weird double-sided dagger situation going on here, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they are going to be getting daggers because...
Yeah. But then why do you have 4 daggers instead of 2 daggers?
Here's the thing. I think they might be doing ritualist. My dream is that they do ritualist because you're channeling Togo. Now, if you are a ritualist and you're looking at what defines a Guild Wars 1 ritualist, it's a ton of things. Restoration, lightning magic, and so on. One mechanic they did have, as well as like the whole summoned weapons and so on and stuff, is they did have sacrifice abilities. So maybe you give him a dagger and it's sacrifices, which you guys will know, I've said many times over the years, for like a kind of vampire-y necro thing.
Yeah.
But you might end up seeing on this guy. And so yeah, that could be why there's 2 blades, but beyond that,
yeah,
I
I wish we had sacrifices in a game like that. Well, we kind of do it with one skill.
I'm not even convinced they are blades boots. I also could be convinced that that's like a portal opening behind it, and it's like, you know, some epic summoning from the mist style thing or something.
Maybe. Could also be like spider legs.
Yeah,
Could
it looks a
be-
bit bug-like, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and also the last point I'd like to say is it could be they're breaking all the rules with this, and they're actually the legend for this is Illidan, and we would not be prepared for that.
Yeah, some epic collaboration. That's why they're tweeting so much about Blizzard now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, also, by the way, the idea that it looks bug-like and it's like a floating thing with its limbs. Do you know what that actually reminds me of? That concept art of the strike CMs that they have on the website. Do you remember? It looks like a weird bearded floating bug thing.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
definitely,
yeah.
we're down the rabbit hole here. That's definitely not what it is, but it's just an interesting observation. Okay, so next we're on to the bullet. I see so much potential for this bullet, man. I think this is a really fun one to speculate about. I think on the day, our immediate guess. Wait, what was our guess for this on the day?
I think our guess was a remainder guess.
Right, so we assigned everyone else, and then we just kind of said, all right, you're left over, so it's you. Sort of.
Yeah, and I think that ended up being Guardian because they don't have a rifle or pistols, and it's a possibility.
Yeah, it's very tricky, this one, is it? Because it's just a bullet. I mean, the
It's a
bullet has
bullet
some
with,
kind of
with arrows.
Yeah, it's got a swirl
pointing
on it.
directions.
It's got. You see, the bullet itself has like some kind of winding, coiling stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely think these are magically infused bullets, just because of that swirl going around it.
Sure. Okay, so here's the thing. The little arrow things make me think that it's like supposed to be some sort of piercing animation, some sort of piercing bullet. So that makes me think it's probably not Guardian. Well, it could be still. Yeah, the little swirl around it could be means it's an Ellie with spell stuff. But then again, the little swirl around it could be like a vine for Ranger because Ranger doesn't have rifle.
And yeah, can I just say as well, I feel like it's rifle, not pistol. I feel like that's a high caliber
I think you're right.
bullet. I feel like, if it was pistol, I feel like we'd get a sense of multiple bullets. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I feel like it'd be kind of a rapid fire thing. I
think you're right.
I also think that just well, hold on. So what's Guardian had? Axe. It had just a main hand last time. It had a two-hander before that. So they could go either way with this, It could just be a little pistol offhand kind of thing. Would Guardians be happy with that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think it'd be Guardian. It could be Guardian. It could be Ranger. It might be able to be Ellie. It could be Necro because we know Necro's getting pistol.
Oh, by the way, Boots. An amazing comment from one of the many thousands of comments I've been reading over the past few days. Someone pointed out, and this has actually been pointed out several times. I've never really retained the information. I don't think in any of our stuff we've ever talked about it. But there is a gap. There's two weapons that have never appeared on Elite Spec. Do you know what they are?
What's that? No, what are they?
Mace? No. Yeah, Mace. Mace was never on an Elite Spec. And
Pistol?
Torch? No. Torch, Berserker. Was it pistol? It might be pistol. Anyway, there's a couple of weapons out there that the likelihood are much higher, and I feel like because they've never been used, so I feel like you probably want to keep your eye
well,
on
we're getting pistol Necro. That's one thing. So a mace got to go somewhere. Maybe the warrior. No wait, warrior has maces.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, there's the whole thing you said a second ago.
Yeah,
Maybe Ranger would be getting a mace with the whole.
Oh, no, wait a second. Engineer's getting mace.
Right, okay. That's going to be funny that Engies would get a hammer for the scrapper and then a mace a little bit later.
Yeah.
They haven't really.
Yeah, well, you got to fix things as an engineer, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. And you already kind of get a wrench with the toolkit.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you. You even say maybe this could be a warrior. Oh no, your big three for the bullet are Guardian, Ranger, and Necro.
Yeah, and I want to throw in there Ellie maybe.
Yeah, I would throw in Ellie.
But I would like to say I'm leaning more towards Guardian for some. I think that swirl around there isn't like evoking some sort of spell thing, and it's not evoking a branch or something, or a thorn or a vine. I think it might be evoking, like the medical symbol with the snakes twining around a pole.
Oh yeah, what's that called? It's like a Greek symbol or something, isn't it? I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I think it might be evoking that and saying that you're going to be healing people by shooting them.
Interesting. I don't really get much of a sense of that, but I do get the sense.
Whatever.
I do get a sense that they're the lights, and it's like piercing light kind of stuff. which is already the
Yeah,
name
something
of a
piercing.
trait, isn't it? A DH trait, I think. Anyway, yeah, I think Guardian's my top dog. My top dog on that one.
Okay.
Okay, now we get the guy in the middle, who I think we're both saying is engineer. I mean, you've got some alternate ideas, but to me, I'm pretty settled on this being an engineer.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it being an engineer too. I want this to be a Golemancer 100%.
Well, okay, so I want to talk about Golemancer. Golemancer is a very racial idea. You know, in a world in which the devs respected racial skills and they shuffled things around a bit so they could be good, anyone can be a Golemancer if they're an Asura. In theory, you know, we already have Mark Golems that we can summon, that we can climb into, and then other ones that we can summon and so on. So the idea of doing an elite spec that's so heavily tied seems a bit strange to me. But I will say, I think the fact that there's a new prominent Asura character in the trailer jumps the chances of that way up, because I feel like that character could be a Golemancer of this form, do you know what I mean? And could be embodying this technique, this fighting style, and our engineers say, all right, I'll learn that from you. A bit like the Rev.
I think it's not going to be pure Asura technology. I think if it's a Golemancer, it's a mix of Asura and the new Dragon Jade technology.
Right, they warp the theme a little bit to differentiate it as much as they can.
Yeah.
It's like Canthan tech.
And maybe this is a Juggernaut, a new form of Juggernaut.
And that works as well, because don't we see in the trailer the Aether Blades are the Aether Blades tapping into Dragon Jade already? Isn't there like a Dragon Jade lab on the airship that we see the Asura on? God, that character's badass.
I don't think that's the one, no.
Is it separate? In any case, I believe in that. I think that's a good idea, for sure.
Yeah, so alternatively, I mean, this picture could obviously be some sort of like tanky guardian or tanky warrior with double shield, and I think that's basically the three options.
The other thing I do want to add is we've got the idea of Juggernauts in Cantha, which are Kurziks that would use the power of Amber, which we may just be calling Dragon Jade at this. I'm really curious what they're doing with Amber. But anyway, they would like transform themselves into these giant tree people. The thing is that what we saw about that, and kind of what defined it in the story before, was that these people would change forever. They would change like humans becoming exalted. They were still sentient and so on, but they were completely changed in body, and it was like a one-way ticket. It wasn't something you could get in and out of. So maybe if this is going to be alluding to that, or it's going to be actually a planty thing, then they'd have to change the story a lot, and I just don't get a sense of it being planty on the icon. So.
Do you think that Juggernaut transformation back in the day was related to Mordramoth somehow?
It all depends. There's potential for it, but it all depends on what they want to do with the story. If they want to say that there was a seed and a pale tree there, then yeah, they can go wild with it. But if they don't, then you never know. All right, so finally, we have the last icon of all, which might be the next elite specialization to be revealed to us. We may already have the silhouette for it. So we saw a necromancer colored character holding a pistol, but in their other hand, it looked like they might have had some kind of bomb or potion of some kind,
like potions or grenades or elixirs or something. Yeah.
So and then we get this icon, which is like a bomb with a fuse. I like the idea of an alchemy-based, chemical-based necro. I think it works.
I do too.
And again, it's the Dragon Jade thing. You actually see there's like 3 specs there that could all be Dragon Jade-y feeling, you know.
Yeah. So if this isn't necro, the necro could still be that bullet thing. But yeah, I'm feeling this is the necro.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I was thinking about this, Boots. That silhouette, the main thing that you should be struck by from that silhouette is the pistol in its hand. Not kind of like speculating the round shape of the thing mostly shrouded in darkness. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I feel like the pistol is a really good, you know, if that's the big ticket, then surely the pistol
You know what it makes me think? It makes me think that in the design of this Necro Elite spec, the pistol is kind of an afterthought. That the pistol is just the weapon they get, and it's not like kind of like the torch for the Berserker. Yeah, the torch is there. It's not like the main point of the Berserker, though.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that's and that's the sense I got from the silhouette straight away as well.
So the question is, since we see the character actually wielding it, are they getting kits as a utility skill type, and one of the kits is like a potion satchel, or are they just straight up going to be getting like elixirs? Because here's the other thing as well. I don't really like the term elixirs. A necro wouldn't be throwing elixirs and stuff around, really. They'd be throwing like core sticks and then there's like how the utility skills are bound to specific playstyles. So I don't know. But oh, by the way, that's something I thought was quite interesting about the thief icon as well. It wasn't too long ago they completely reworked all the thief traps, and they all look super Canthan feeling. And I wonder if that's because they scrapped the old idea, whatever it was, and we just ended up getting those animations in game already.
Maybe.
Because you go back and look at them, they're like bamboo traps and stuff. They're all very, very Canthan vibes. Heavy Canthan vibes are a part of Core Thief now.
Huh.
So yeah.
So for this last thing, like we said, probably Necro, but it could also maybe be Ellie, like I said earlier, because of the
you think the
white background.
You think the white patch in the middle is?
It's like a little flame.
Okay.
Like the flame of the original Ellie thing.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting idea. This could also be Guardian. I'll throw it in the pile.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's tricky. I think we're probably very close, guys.
I think our first choices for all of these is probably the right one.
Yeah. And I would say we're probably at about 5 of 9 accuracy on this. So, I mean, maybe you guys think we're complete. Please let me know. All right, this is the time now. Check out the comments and drop your own. I really want to know, do you guys think we're missing any major theme or idea or pairing on these? Let me have it. And I'll be reading through those. This topic will definitely come up on End of Dragons Daily again. I'd love to have you on at that point as well, Boots. However, for the very next part... Oh, what did I really want to talk about? Oh.
Are you doing a big extravaganza for EOD 100?
I don't know what I'm doing for 100. I really don't. It's crazy to me that it's in 3 episodes. It's nuts. I mean, technically, if there had been no breaks on this show, I would have got there in, like, the end of April. And it's the end of July now, but it's fine. I don't know.
The hype train has no brakes.
I had a really good idea for what I wanted the next part to be on. I'm definitely doing a trailer analysis, guys. All right, let's do it. I wanna talk about the legendary weapon thing. All right, everyone's had a few days to chill on it. Give me your thoughts, if it's not going to be about these elite spec icons, on the legendary weapon situation, and I'll be providing some comment on that tomorrow. I'll bounce off of your ideas. Who likes it? Who thinks it was a big problem? The one after that, I'm going to throw fishing at you as well. We obviously already talked about fishing on the show, but now it's like real. And it's like... I just want to point out to everyone, on the stream from 2 days ago, right as we went live, there was a poll set up but Boots posed the question and said, what are you most excited about? Threw a bunch of ideas on there. Fishing was one of the ideas on this list of things that End of Dragons might do. And you guys that were there were like a couple of thousand votes, did 7% fishing. And then the show was basically, hey, fishing's the big thing in End of Dragons. Or a big thing in End of Dragons. I got a lot of thoughts about, like, features and how much it matters. There's a lot of good commentary coming at you on that, guys. But yeah, so for the next time, let's talk about the legendaries. Thanks so much for coming on, Boots. Give me your insights.
My pleasure.
You've added a lot to this video, man. You really have. So
I'm the best.
All the best, man. And thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you next time. Ta-ta now.
Bye.
All right, cool stuff.